Hey, what's up YouTube? Enforcer5150 here, and welcome back. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Anthem VIP demo that was out last week. Sorry it took so long to get this out, but I had school and stuff like that, and the demo actually ended before I was able to get all the data I wanted to actually collect for this, so I do apologize. But we're going to take a quick look at this because I ran it on the HP-OMEN 15, which runs the i7 57 or 8750H 2.2 gigahertz, which is actually boostable to 4.1, which I really never actually got to see because just the heat doesn't allow it. As you see in the upper right or upper left there, it will go in between whatever it feels is best. I had it on performance for a while and that didn't work, and I put it on default settings for HP-OMEN performance settings, and either way, as you can see, I kind of got an average of around 30-35 frames per second. It jumped up to in the 50s and jumped back down to a low of like 30, and I think like 29, 28 was like the bare minimum. Anyway, if you're wondering about this laptop, please take a look at some of the other videos I have on this. I did an unboxing and everything else, but the base information of this laptop is that it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4, 2666 megahertz. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, so it's decent. It has a decent amount of RAM in there, and it has a decent SSD. It runs the GTX 1060 Max. It's not the Max Q, so that's kind of important there. So as you can see, once we get into the game, we get around the 50s when there's nothing going on. But that's only when nothing's actually going on. It actually, once you start getting into some of the main things, it kind of messes up. I did have one big problem though. When I was trying to connect to my TV and the HDR tried to automatically enable, it kept on going to a blue thing, like this blue weird screen. And I have a capture card that captures 4K HDR. This also happened, without the capture card, and I was going directly to the TV with even my RTX card and my 1080 Ti. Both of those desktops were having problems with HDR, so I'm assuming that the Dolby Vision was having a problem, or it's kind of like some of the other games where it has Dolby Vision, you have to have it at a certain resolution. Anyway, once you get into the game, you can see here that the frames per second definitely drop from those 50s and only go into like the 20s to 30s. I'd say, well, 30s and 40s, but it does drop down to, as you see here, a minimum of 29. And this was kind of playable. It's really not once you start really getting into the game. I didn't enjoy it that much. It is a controller type game that you can do. As you notice, I'm actually using a controller here now. I just connected the controller to my laptop and just, played kind of late at night at the very end of the VIP demo. I wanted to try to get a little bit of information on here. Anyway, after going through the high settings, because this is just on regular high that you're seeing there, we put it on ultra. I apologize if I didn't say that before. This is like my 5th time recording. But one thing that was really weird is once I put it on ultra, I didn't notice any difference. I got about the same frames per second that I was getting before. My CPU was running around the same, and everything was just about the same. The GPU though was working a bit harder, and that's kind of weird. But in this area, it was a lot more things going on than the other fights and stuff like that, and we still only seen, the same 30s. I was expecting it to jump down to like 20s and be like completely unplayable. As you know me, I do don't mind having it in the 30s, 40s, as long as it's a controller type game and it's not a competitive type game. If it's competitive, 60 is the bare minimum, and definitely you want to be higher than that and try to get to 144, and you'll notice that difference with high refresh rate monitors. Anyway, this wasn't that bad of a gaming experience. I definitely recommend bringing it down a little bit. I apologize that I didn't realize that the VIP demo was almost over. I'll probably do more of these this weekend, and I'll try to also get more information and data from my Ryzen 7 2700X with the 1080 Ti and the RTX 2080 with the i9 9900K. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and take a look at my last video that was uploaded. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description as well. We did a video with both the i9 and the i9 9900K and the Ryzen 7 2700X with my wife playing that computer and I was playing the i9 computer, and we switched between them both. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I really apologize that I was not able to get that much information out there for you guys. Once the game is released, I'll definitely get more, actual gameplay and benchmarks of the actual game. I really didn't want to do that much when this is just a demo, and in such an early demo it is. There's probably going to be a lot more performance patches and stuff like that that will make this video pretty much irrelevant. And that's why this video is so short and just, very brief performance review of how the game played and stuff like that, aside from the problems we've seen with connection issues in their servers. And I do get it that you have, a new game out and the servers will crash. However, they had a max amount on the servers, which just tells you that someone on the board said, hey, let's try to keep these server costs down before we actually release this, and it made a bad experience for a lot of people out there. And then they finally said, oh well, we have to spend more money, and they went ahead and they started adding more servers and everything. I mean, it was a mess either way we look at it, and that's just speculation. Being a server administrator myself, I've seen those things happen plenty of times, that somebody doesn't want to spend too much on something. They have a launch date, things break, and they just want to find someone to blame. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. We'll definitely have more coming soon. Make sure you hit that like button and definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. You all take care and happy gaming.